I think I've mentioned this in previous posts. I'm a big fan of wild game. It's as natural as it can get, or as organic as it can get. So I only really eat beef. Usually averages out to about 5 months out of the year. So I stock venison all fall, and then I eat that throughout my preps and so forth. Because it's an extremely lean meat. I'll probably make a video maybe this year of me cutting some up, cooking it. I think I did a post earlier about it. But fat content's next to nothing, so that is healthier than just some standard beef, but it still takes an impact, right? That's why I like to focus on that. I'll drop it. CLA, omega-3s, cholesterol. This one's a dual threat. Daily fiber, right? A lot of folks like to laugh at me for this one. This is twofold, right? I talked about earlier, cholesterol and digestion. First and foremost, again, it depends on the style of the athlete or the lifestyle person. I am not a macro, what we call them, if it fits your macros dieter, right? I have nothing against it. If that works better for your situation and that's how you make your best progress, being a little less restrictive, great for you. I don't like to put that thought into it. So I eat the same foods, the same meals all year long. They just either get bigger or smaller depending if I'm in an off season or I'm in a prep. It's very simple. Eggs, oatmeal, and then eventually some fruit with that. It's either chicken or beef or chicken and venison, right? It just depends. And right now I have a lot of wild boar that's super lean I've been mixing in. I didn't do that on the prep just because I wasn't sure what the true profile of it was. Off season, I got a little more wiggle room, so I'm putting that in. But it's all lean. But it's still, like I talked about, it's still an animal protein, which can mess with cholesterol. Rice and just green veggies, and that's it. Eventually down the road, you start to get the olive oils and the peanut butters in there, but that's the basis. So if you really look at my macro layout and you break it into the micro layout, I do not get a lot of fiber intake via my food sources, right? It took me a long time to realize that. I wonder why my cholesterol levels were struggling and why I would be getting kind of bloated, which is I talked about the probiotics, fiber. So what I do is I probably go a little overboard if you want me to be honest with you. But I do in the neighborhood of about 30 grams of fiber before I go to bed. I mix it in with just some water or sometimes like a sugar-free cranberry drink that's also good for my kidneys. I only do that in the off season though if my coach is watching. I measure this out. I do 30 grams. I stir it up. It makes like a little bit of a gel type thing. I like to eat it just because I like the flavor of it. But almost 30 grams of fiber. So that helps with my digestion. But in case you're not familiar with it, fiber also functions to help flush out that excess cholesterol. If you have low fiber, there's a very good chance that your HDL and LDL are going to be off. That was an experience for me. And once I realized that I was not getting enough fiber in my diet, I implemented this. Everything kind of lined itself out. Moving on. Liver support complex, right? Liver does take a little bit of a beating. It is going to process, different levels of fat and other things that go on in a bodybuilder's lifestyle and routine. Milk thistle is always the primary. One of your primary tried and true liver support. This is a complex that has that in it. Glutathione is another good one, but I stick with just this. I've always got it from Vitamin Shop. It's just a liver support with milk thistle. I take it all year long. I take one tablet every day, which is about 70 total milligrams of dandelion root and milk thistle. And my liver enzymes, I get labs done every 3 months. Generally, no matter what I'm doing, it does keep them at a very manageable level. The liver is very resilient, but that doesn't mean I'm going to test it, right? So I like to take care of it all year long. This is what I do. multivitamin, boring but critical, right? I've talked before about how my food sources are limited. So the micronutrient profile without a little bit of supplementation, right, would be non-existent. So I take actually 2 multivitamins a day, not because I think I'm special, not because I think I need it, but simply because I utilize a lot of these through training, cardio, so forth and so on, and my diversity of food sources is so limited. I like to ensure a double tap, right, to make sure that I'm covering all my bases with the vitamins and minerals and things that I'm missing from not having a very diverse diet. Multivitamin. Glutamine. This kind of falls under, you could say this is under a performance-based supplement, which it is, but my big thing with it is its element in immune system and recovery. I take 15 grams a day, 5 in the morning at meal 1, 5 after in my post-workout shake pudding, and then 5 grams before I go to bed. I do not get sick very often. There are some clinical studies out there where glutamine has been used to help recovery and immune system in AIDS patients. If it is good enough to help those guys, it was something I implemented with recovery, and it has paid dividends. I'm a fan of anything that's going to help my body recover from the stress I put it under, right? I've been taking glutamine for about 10 years. Big fan. It's really inexpensive for the most part. Don't go fancy, but I definitely encourage everyone to start taking glutamine. And actually, if you take that first thing in the morning, it does have a natural stomach, what I'm looking for, a soothing ability to it. I can't think of the word now, but it actually will go ahead and kind of, that morning stomach acid that gets churning, it will settle that in and kind of gives my gut health a little bit better boost too. Last but not least, my personal favorite, Astragalus. I get the Astragalus powder from NutriCost off of Amazon. This is the best kidney support supplement I have ever found. My kidney function is something I've kept an eye on over the years, so I always get labs done. I get them done every 3 months to review and see what is maintaining, what is working, what needs help, what needs corrected, and what things do I need to do to maintain not only an optimal outer musculoskeletal system, but also an internal vital organ, however you want to say it, system, because without one, you're not going to have the other. When I first started bodybuilding, I weighed about 160 pounds. I competed at 160 pounds. Fast forward, at my heaviest, I've gained about 130 pounds. Yeah, 130 over 10 years. Slow and steady wins the race. I compete anywhere from 230 to the upper, close to 240. So it's a lot of weight that has been gained. When I was about $160, my creatinine ran about 0.8 or 0.9, which is on the lower end of normal. What I did not know was creatinine is not a static number, right? It's there's a lot of factors, but for what we're talking about, as you gain more muscle tissue, that number can generally go up. Now, in my current state and my size, my creatinine baseline is 1.3 to 1.4. That does not mean that my kidneys are failing. It just means with the added muscle tissue it has to filter and support, heavier loads in the gym, etc., it does have an increased creatinine process. The ticket is to monitor, see where your baseline is, and it's not jumping up from there. Jumping up from there cues the Astragalus, right? So about 3 years ago is when I started to do this. So kudos, my coach and one of my best friends, Justin Compton, turned me on to this. I had just done a competition about 6 weeks after. Had my labs drawn, my creatinine was up to like 1.79, which was a little concerning to me simply because my baseline at that point was about 1.3, 1.4, what it is now. I got a little concerned with that, so we implemented, before I got too carried away, simply implemented this, doing 10 grams every day. That's quite a bit, actually, and it tastes really bad, I'm not going to lie. But we did 10 grams in my post-workout every day for about 6 weeks, redid the labs. My labs had dropped all the way, my creatinine level dropped all the way down to 1.2 even. That was the lowest it's been in 6-7 years, and that's where it currently sits at. I'm due another lab in about a month or two, but I do this every day, 10 grams, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year, for my kidneys. Hydration's critical for the kidneys, the blood pressure. I have other supplement support stuff that is helping with that. But the big thing is protein content. I have an extremely high protein content. I'm eating, throughout the year, I'm either eating 8 to 10 ounces of cooked meat per meal. I eat about 7 meals a day. I go through it quick. So naturally, there's going to be some stress on the kidneys, not counting carrying 280 pounds of muscle tissue, training in the gym, filtering toxins. They need the help. So I make sure that I hydrate so they're not struggling there. I give them support with the Astrogals. So that really does it. That is my fancy, nothing crazy health regimen that I do all year long. So if you take nothing else from this, please, 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 don't shy away from maintaining your health 24/7. If you are a lifestyle client, you're probably or not client, excuse me, coaching verbiage. If you are a lifestyle workout person, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Kudos to you. You're probably already monitoring some health things, but if not, you should be doing that. If you are a competitive bodybuilder or athlete of any sort, I strongly urge that you do this. Whatever you're doing on an athletic fashion, if you're pushing the limit, you're going to ask a lot of your body and you're going to put it through a lot of stress. And it needs, not only don't look at the fancy show parts of the body. Well, I'm going to take my glutamine, my creatine, my protein powder so my arms are bigger. Also maintain, I need to take care of your heart, your kidneys, your lungs, the whole thing. Because that's going to make you more optimal. But if you are a competitive bodybuilder, guess what? There's life after bodybuilding. Really, in the grand scheme of things, we have a short window we compete. Most of the open competitors are in our prime from about 35 to 40. After that, that's about it, right? And I hope that all of you have long lives after that. There's no reason to risk shortchanging that for the sport of bodybuilding. I love bodybuilding, but I would never shortchange or be cavalier with my health. I have an 8-year-old. I intend to try to stick around for that, and these are why I put so much attention on this. That's the lowdown of my health routine. I hope you picked something up from it. I'm going to post the video over on the YouTube page, but I'll post the links around on my other social media accounts. The good old Freaky Deek. If something spurs a question for you based on what I have articulated here, and if you want me to do a deep dive into that with you about why I did this and here's how it worked, so forth and so on, please direct message me. I have no problem with that. I'd be happy to discuss it with you, give you my a little more detailed per supplement, some other things I've tried that maybe didn't work, and some other things you can do if you've already kind of backed yourself in a corner a little bit, right? The end objective here is, remember, take care of your health. You need to be getting your labs done. If you're a lifestyle workout enthusiast, at least once to twice a year. If you're a competitive bodybuilder, I do it every 3 months. If you're a physician, right? I'm not a doctor. I got to do that with the disclaimer stuff. But every 3 months usually is a little bit difficult to get. There is a website called privatemdlabs.com, and you can purchase whatever lab you want there. They will have a doctor approve it. You just pay it out of pocket. They send you the lab requisition. You go to a LabCorp request. You pull it. They send it back to you. You've got all your results. The only problem with that is you have to read them and you have to dissect them. That is another thing I'm happy to discuss with anybody, and I'll probably do a video on that later on. So, hope everybody has a happy, healthy week, and see you all soon. Freaky Deek is out.